Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show here on Flow FM, and it is time to get stuck into our South Australian netball coverage. Courtney Trowbridge is on the line with me to go through the latest from the Western Eyre Netball Association. How are you, Courtney?
Good, thanks, Dan. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Before we get into what's going on in Western Eyre, you were at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre on Saturday last week to enjoy the epic win by the Thunderbirds. How was that experience?
Yeah, it was really cool. I actually went to the Thunderbirds win last year as well over in Melbourne. Just to see lots of SA pathway players, including the EPs, Hannah Petty, captaining the side. Just a really good experience. So many young players there, young girls, just idolising those Thunderbird players. Just a really good game, really good atmosphere, and it was awesome to have it in SA.
Certainly was. It was a fantastic win by the Thunderbirds, and Hannah played a starring role in the game. Yeah,
I actually thought she might have got player of the match. She played really well, come on in that first quarter and took control, and it was really cool to see Hannah just perform on that big stage.
It was. She made a huge difference, and a crowd of almost 10,000 people at the Entertainment Centre is just absolutely extraordinary. It was record crowds, record attendance for, I think, any domestic women's sporting league all throughout the country. So, I'm sure the atmosphere was just electric.
Yeah, it was very loud, lots of lights, lots of noise, it was awesome.
Very good stuff. Well, a big win by the Thunderbirds last week, and big wins by Wirrulla and the Western United Tigers in Western Eyre Netball as well. So let's get into those games. Another week with no upsets, which we've come to expect, but with just one round to go until finals, it might be ripe for an upset over the deciding 3 weeks of the season. So Wirrulla travelling to Ceduna last weekend. They came away with a pretty solid win, and they're looking like they're priming pretty well for finals. It was 63-39 in this one, but would you say that's accurate? Are they peaking at the right time?
Yeah, I think so. I think their coach was really, really happy with their performance. They were able to get a 17-10 quarter-time lead and then just push on from them. They were actually without Bella Heron, so they had Neve Tomney come up and play goalkeeper for them, so still a bit of a different lineup, so really good that they could push out that lead through the whole game. Hayley Webb has settled back into that centre position. I think she had something like 9 intercepts throughout the game, which is huge for a centre, so turning over lots of ball. Emma Willis down in the attacking end. They're still running with Emma at goal attack and Stacey at goal shooter. Not sure whether they'll stay like that for the finals campaign. It seems to be how they're happy with their team progressing through, but they do have that option to swing Emma back if they need. I think Blues started the game really well. They got the first couple of goals, but Wirrulla switched on, able to power through with a really good lead, and I think their game this week will be really interesting. Best players for Wirrulla were Hayley Webb, and best player for Blues was Hayley Clayton.
All right, so Wirrulla keep on rolling. It will be interesting tomorrow to see how they go as well, that's for sure. And the Western United Tigers, 42-19, playing against Thevenard at Thevenard. They're now just 1 week away from a perfect season, still undefeated.
Yeah, and I think they'll go through undefeated. They started with their usual lineup. They welcomed Nakia Skinner back into that centre position. They had a 14-5 quarter-time lead. In the second quarter, they actually switched their goalies into defence and defence into goals, just as something different. I think they've been playing with a pretty settled lineup all year, so just looking to do something different. They were still able to push their lead out and lead 21-8 at halftime. They've actually started their team with Nikki Sleep in goal attack, which they did against Wirrulla the week before, and they actually were really competitive up against Wirrulla, so they thought they would try that combination out again. I just think Westies, they have that smothering full court defence, and to restrict a team to just 8 goals in the first half, I don't think it matters who you have in goals. That's pretty hard to recover from. So, Westies switched back to their usual lineup in the second half and just able to power on to a 42-19 win, which is, again, impressive, keeping a team to just 19 goals through a whole game. Best players for Westies were Chloe Ettridge, who's having a fantastic year, and Jarvis Shippard, and best for Thevy was Nikki Sleep and Hayley Jericho.
All right, so a brilliant win there, and the Thevenard side are on the bye this weekend, so they get a weekend off to prime themselves for finals if they are going to cause an upset. they're locked into finals unless Ceduna Blues can perform a pretty major miracle this week. They'll have to win by a big margin to overtake Thevenard, and it's not looking likely because they're on the road against Western United at Penong, and as we just said, they haven't lost all year, so this should be a pretty easy win for the Tigers and a good tune-up for finals.
Yeah, I think obviously Blues will just be looking to go out there and give it their all in their last game. Really unlikely that they'll make finals. They'd have to, like you said, win by a fair margin against an undefeated team. I'm not sure how Blues are playing their team. They've been playing around, switching Casey Grenfell from goals to defence. And she'll probably team up with Holly Woods in goals. And Holly had a great game last week as well. I know for Westies, they'll look to settle their 7, I think. They've been carrying some injuries, a few people away, so they'll be looking to secure their 7 leading into finals. I think Westies will just be too strong all over the court. I think we'll see them finish the year undefeated and with a big margin here.
All right, we'll see how that one plays out. Stranger things have happened, so we won't completely write the Blues off, but it will be a very big task for them to record a win and an even bigger task to win by a big enough margin to sneak into finals. Our other game should be a good one. Wirrulla hosting the Hawks, who are fresh off the bye, and this is a good opportunity for Wirrulla to show that they've got the form that it takes to make a bit of noise in finals.
Yeah, I think we might actually finally get an upset when we chat again next week, Dan. Hawks are without their coach, Alana Cotton, who's their goal defence, and just absolute strength in that defensive end. And they're still also missing Rochelle Wheaton. They're both out with ankle injuries, and we hope to see them back for the second semi. They do have Kobe Freeman back into that centre position. I'm not sure who they've got coming up to fill that defensive role for them. For Wirrulla, they have their full team, and they're feeling really confident after last week putting together a 4-quarter performance, which they've really struggled to do throughout the year, lacking a bit of consistency. But their coach is really happy with how they put together a 4-quarter performance on the weekend, and they can smell a win here, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Wirrulla upset.
All right, we might get our first upset of the season in the very last game of the season. Wouldn't that be something? But we will wait and see how it plays out. Just 2 games to go in Western Eyre Netball. Last 2 games of the season tomorrow, and then we are into finals. Good luck to everyone taking the court tomorrow. Courtney, thank you very much. Looking forward to previewing the first round of finals with you next Friday.
Thanks, Dan.